start. Um, let's start. So today we're going to do CCNA2 chapter 3 and 4 are the same. So that's why I'm going to combine them. So we did a bit of VLAN already. So I'll use today to make a demo. Let me save this guy for save and close. We can click on. Sorry, I'm going to close it. Then I'm going to open a packet tracer. I'm going to use a demo for chapter 3 and 4. We are professionals, so sometimes it's not only like in grade 10, page 1, page 2, page no. We give you what is the most important. So if I have a packet tracer and I what is that guy? Packet tracer. And then it's going to open. So I'm going to add a title. VLAN plus inter VLAN routing. So it's very, very important as a network engineer to know that, because we do that in companies. So I'll do a demo. I'm going to put a switch. I'm going to put a switch here, and I'm going to add two PCs and two laptops. Yeah. And here I'm going to call it VLAN 10. VLAN 10. The name will be student. And here will be VLAN 20. And the name will be teachers. So please confirm you can see my screen and you can hear me properly. Because sometimes what is that thing? Okay, thank you so much. By the way, yeah, Mr. Max was also a CCNA student. This one was 20 years ago. The face of Mr. Max 20 years ago. And my teacher. So yeah, I've been through all these things. That's why I can give you good advices. There is no secret in Cisco. Is to do the same thing many times. Nothing else. If you have time, it's fine. You don't have time, try to make time if you want to be successful. This is PC1 and PC2. This one is PC3. This one is PC4. So today's session is extremely important. So now we're going to link them to the switch. We take PC. So please practice with packet tracer, because if you don't practice with packet tracer, even if I give you the equipment, you'll get lost. So please practice with packet tracer. I noticed when we met at the old, I noticed many people are not doing anything. So it's really difficult for you to understand. So practice with packet tracer. No one is born IT engineers. No one. We just study, we practice. No one is born medical doctor. So we practice, we study, we practice, and we get used to. So Cisco is practicing doing the same thing many times. So these two guys, so I'm going to create two VLAN on the router. I'm going to create two VLAN on the switch. So I put it here. create two VLAN. Okay, I'm going to remove S, VLANs, do VLAN on switch. So in the switch, we create with two VLANs, number one. Okay, I'm going to put that. Create two VLANs. The two VLANs in the switch. This one is one. Oh, no. Create two VLAN with switch. This one number one. Number two. Assign port to each VLAN. Three, test communication inside each VLAN. Four, test communication intra, let's say inter VLAN, between different VLAN. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So I did a demo already. I did record it. It's in the thing there. So you know. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Create two VLAN in the switch. Let's start that. So I open my switch, enable. Because I want to create something, I go to the global config mode, configuration mode. Let me check if this scan is recording. Okay. We go in the global config mode, conf p. You see, now I need to create these two VLAN, VLAN 10. So I start VLAN, VLAN 10, name, we say the name is student. We put there. We exit. So what we are doing to create, we have VLAN PC1, PC2, they belong to VLAN 10 student. PC3, PC4, they belong to VLAN teachers. So we create VLAN 10, name student, VLAN 20, name teachers. So if this is what we did, VLAN 10, name student, we exit. VLAN 20, name teachers. We exit and we save. Do copy, run, start. You see, we just created our two VLANs. Do, now if you want to view, show VLAN brief to view the VLAN you created. So VLAN, anything starting with 1000, just ignore it for the system. You see, I did create VLAN 10 student, VLAN 20 teachers. Third number, assign port to each VLAN. So we can see that port F1, F2, these two ports they belong to VLAN 10. So I can say, I can do port per port per port. Else, I can also do const. I can also do interface range FA01 dash 2. 0 dash 2. It means port 1 and 2. Then, so what I'm doing is to assign these two ports to VLAN 10. Switch port mode access. It means what? Mode access, it means this port will carry only one VLAN, VLAN 10 only, no one else. Then switch port access. So these two port will now belong to uh, VLAN 10. You see, will belong to VLAN 10 only. You see, and I'm done. Do copy, run, start. You exit. Now, what I'm going to do, PC3 and PC4, these two interfaces on this switch, we are connected to port 3, port 4 on this switch. I'm going to assign them to VLAN 20. It's what I'm doing now. I can say interface range because we are following each other. Interface range port 03-4 switch port mode access switch port access. So these two ports will belong to VLAN 20 only. VLAN 20 and copy, run, start. Now I want to view my VLAN configuration. What should I do? I do show VLAN brief. So I have VLAN here, VLAN 10 is here, the name is student, and I have port 1 and 2 that belong to VLAN 10, VLAN student. VLAN 20, the name is teachers, you see. Port 3 and port 4 belong to that VLAN. It's what we did. So show VLAN brief to view your configuration related to your VLAN. Also, when you configure VLAN, all this config will be saved somewhere in the switch, so in the memory. If I tap show flash, you can see this file. Anything related to VLAN that we configure, it will be saved in a VLAN file called VLAN.dat. If you delete this file, all your VLAN, or everything related to VLAN is gone. So you tap show flash, it will show you, let's say, your C drive, and anything you have in a C drive. You see, I have the image, the Windows 10 or the Windows 11 of the switch is here, and the file for the VLAN. So if you work in a company, never delete this. If you delete, all your VLAN will disappear, will be deleted. We did number 2, assign ports to each VLAN. Now 3, test communication inside each VLAN. Okay, I'm going to add some IP addresses. In IP 192.168.10 for VLAN 10.2, and this guy, I leave a default subnet mask. PC2, I'll put 3.3. I keep the default subnet mask. PC3, I put 010.2. I put 20 for VLAN 20.2. I keep the default subnet mask. I forgot something. I shouldn't do VLAN. Okay, but okay, it's fine. VLAN, yeah, it's fine. Then this one, I do 20.3. Okay. So if you're doing a work and you want to save, like Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, so that you can open later, you file save, and you save it the way where you want. The same way you save Microsoft Doc or PowerPoint or Excel document. You save this one so that you can open again to continue. So now we say test communication between each VLAN. So PC1 and PC2, let's check if you can ping. Remember that question for the interview? It's one of my students, I think 4 years ago. You say, Mr. Max, I'm about to get a job, and this is the test they send me. Please help me. You see. So that's why I copy the screen and also send to you for you to get prepared. So ping is a tool to test connectivity. We have ping and we have traceroute. We did that, I think, in CCNA1. So ping, if I ping myself, PC1, you see. To ping, it means I sent 4 packet and I receive my 4 packet back. It means the destination is alive and we can communicate, you see. If you see 0% loss, it means I can communicate with the destination. So I can ping myself. Let me ping the other PC, PC2. I can ping also PC2. Can I communicate with the other guys? PC3 in VLAN 20. So it's 20.2. I'm trying to ping PC3 that belongs to another VLAN. You see, I cannot. So only PCs that belong to the same VLAN we can communicate. You see. But if we are in different VLANs, we cannot communicate. So if I want people in PC10 to communicate with PCs in VLAN 20, I need a router. I need a router. So I'm going to add here for inter-VLAN communication, we need a router. So this is point number 5. Point number 6, the name of that router is router on a stick. Okay. Then point number 7, we configure sub interfaces. Let me allow someone in. We configure sub interfaces. Each sub interface will become the default gateway of the PCs in the specific VLAN. Lot of word, but it's something very simple. We configure yeah. So I'll put this one here. From the router, from the switch. So this one is chapter 3 and 4. Mm, mm, okay. So from the switch, we create VLAN, assign port, we test. From the router, for inter-VLAN communication, we need a router. The name of that router is router on a stick. We're going to configure sub interfaces from the router port. We're going to configure sub interfaces from the router physical port. Each sub interface will become the default gateway of the PCs in the specific VLAN. It's something very simple, extremely simple. So let's do that. I'm going to put them a bit far. I'm going to put this guy here. Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's put them down here then. Yeah. Yeah. Now we're going to add a router. We take this guy, we put there, and we link. You must know we type cables to connect switch to router. You see. And we see this interface G00, G000. It's the point number 7. Okay, let me put it for you. So this G00 on the router, we are not going to add an IP address, but we're going to divide in two. One part will be for VLAN 10, another part will be for VLAN 20. What does it mean? Sub interfaces. So I'm recording this one. Please watch it many times. And also today's what? Okay, so on Tuesday, I'll try to use a packet tracer to do a lab. So this one I'm teaching you step by step. Watch it many times. And on Tuesday, I'm going to open a packet tracer. In fact, I'll tell you to do it yourself during the weekend. And on Tuesday, I'll give you the answers. Again, CCNA, the only secret, practicing doing the same thing many times. That's the only secret of. So you see here, for students who log on late, it was me 20 years ago when I was doing my CCNA. Sometimes we used to finish at 10 p.m. because we had to do this. So this one, it's not 12,000 like we pay. It's 50,000 trend for CPUT. That 50,000, it included, you can stay as long as you want, but you must pay the 50,000 trend. You see. So for us, it's a bit less, but yeah, we'll try to meet from time to time, like what we did at Mowbray Hall, and to do some practical. But please know your packet tracer first. If not, you'll get confused. Even if I give you a router, physical router, you won't know where to start. But if you practice many times, the day I give you, it's easier. So on the router sub-interface, so you're going to say G 0, 0, 0 dot 10 or VLAN 10. IP address, I'm going to assign 192.168.10, you see, dot 0. Then I go down G 0 0 0 dot 20 mm, for VLAN 20. I'm going to add an IP address 192.168.20 for VLAN 20.0. Now this one as a dot one, dot one, dot one. So what does it mean? So remember, for point number 5, for inter-VLAN communication, for these guys, PC1, PC2, to communicate with these guys, we need a router. It means if PC1 want to communicate with PC3, PC1 data should go to the switch, then the router will route it to PC3. This is what happened in companies. In company, people will sit, they work, we don't know what's happening in the background. IT is doing a great job, because no IT, no work. No one can work nowadays. So for different PCs, for PC different VLAN to communicate, we need a router. So on that router, the name is router on a stick. We take that interface G000. The switch is connected to G000. We take that interface and we're going to divide into one part, you see, G000.10 for VLAN 10. This is IP 192.168.10 for VLAN 10.1. You see. I'm going to remove this guy. And this guy, I'm going to put a bit. You see. So this interface, that's why we say sub interface. We're going to divide that physical interface with physical port to logical port. Sub interface or logical port. Logical. It means it's not physical one. Logical port. So G000.10 for VLAN 10 is the IP. G000.20 for VLAN 20 is the IP. And what did we say down here? So 5, for inter-VLAN communication, we need a router. 6, the name of that router is a router on a stick. 7, we configure sub-interfaces from the router physical port G000, like here. 8, each sub-interface will become the default gateway of the PCs in the specific VLAN. You see, what does it mean? G00.10 for VLAN 10, this is IP. That IP will become the default gateway for all PCs in VLAN 10. So I open PC1, I go here, and you see here default gateway, I put 192.168.10.1. You see, that IP is the one that is here. So this IP will become the default gateway for all the devices in VLAN 10. I come here, I do the same thing. 192.168.10.1. You see. Now I'm going to ask you questions. What is the default VLAN? What is the default gateway IP address for PC3? Who can tell me?
The default gateway is 192.168.20.1.
Very good. I'm very proud of you guys. I'm very, very. So you see, G000, the name, 0/0/0.20 for VLAN 20, and this IP address, see 20.1, will be the IP, will be the default gateway for any device in VLAN 20. So I open this guy. I come here, default gateway 192.168.20.1. Then the same IP, default gateway for PC4. So if you have a PC to communicate on the internet, we need a IP, we need the subnet mask, and we need the default gateway. Also in the companies, because I'm going to use internet, I need a DNS. So that if I type cisco.www.cisco.com, that server will change it to the IP address of cisco.com to go to the internet. So normally these four elements are compulsory in a company. But for now, we're not using the web. That's why we don't touch the DNS. But default gateway is very important. It's like the door you used to go out. You're in a house and you want to go out. You need to go. You open your door or your gate, then you go out. So it's the gate to go out. Default gateway to leave your network to go to another network. So we are done, guys. Normally we are done with chapter 3 and chapter 4. But there is one thing remaining. The last thing is now to configure each sub interface. We did assign that IP to as default gateway. Now we need to configure each of them. So to configure, I'll show you an example. Interface, interface, interface. Oh, in interface G000.10. I can add a description, facing VLAN 10. Then encapsulation dot 1Q10 for VLAN 10. Now IP address 192.168.10.1 no shut. This is an example of configuring a sub interface. So you can see here, if you want, you can enable G000. You go to your router, command line interface, going ask questions. No, sorry, thank you. No. Enable conft interface G000. You must type the same way you see it. I got, oh, sorry. I put one extra. And you can just tap no shut. That's all. You have to bring it up. See, now it's green. This physical interface, you can just tap no shut, it's fine. Now we're going to configure each of them. This is one example here. So I'm going to copy and I'm going to paste in the router. I exit and I paste. You see, interface G000.10 for VLAN 10, description pasting VLAN 10, encapsulation.1Q10. So this one is a stamp. It's like envelope. You put a stamp to go out. So .10, it means any data that will leave VLAN 10 from the switch to go to a router will have a stamp to say VLAN 10. I come from VLAN 10. I come from VLAN 10 for the router to know that. Then IP address, the IP address 192.10 for VLAN 10.1. And oh, you see, I forgot the subnet mask. So I come here, subnet mask 255, 255, 255, 0. See? Then I copy everything and I configure the interface. I can exit and I configure the interface, the sub interface. You see, this is how we configure sub interface. Now we exit, we do the same thing for VLAN 20. I'm going to paste again. At this time, we go on top here. Oh, it's going on top. Let me see if I go. It doesn't want. No, it doesn't want. It doesn't want. Okay, it's fine. I can put in my notepad. I put here. I remove 20. I'm going to zoom in. You see, vSub interface. Here will be VLAN 20.1Q20 to say any data coming from VLAN 20. We have a stamp VLAN 20. I come from VLAN 20. I come from VLAN 20. See? Then I copy this and I paste. I go to my router. Exit. Paste. And we are done. Do copy, run, start. So we are done for chapter 3 and chapter 4. Now we're going to check if PC1 can ping PC3 now. So we open PC1 command prompt. So previously, we noticed that we sent 4 packets. We didn't receive anything. So we lost this packet. We lost, and it means I cannot communicate with PC3. Now that we added a router, let's check again now. 20, yeah, the IP address of PC3 is 20.2. I press enter. I wait. I wait, and I cannot still communicate. There is something we didn't do. Everything we did is 100% correct. One thing missing. You see port, you see the switch now? You see that port F05. Port F05 on the switch needs to be configured as a trunk port. This is something we didn't do. So from the switch, we do this, and also I'm going to add this guy here. Yeah. So in fact, let me put 5 here, 5. Else I go inside, yeah. Yeah, I can leave it like that, 5. And then here, I put 6, put 7, I put 8, I put 9. Yeah. when it clear like that, you know why we are doing such thing, where to go. Because job interview, they can also ask you, what is the role of a router on a stick? You're showing me that you know Cisco. Okay. What is the role? Why do we need a router on a stick? So a router on a stick is needed to allow inter-VLAN communication. That's all. You see here, point number 6. For inter-VLAN communication, we need a router. 7, the name of that router is router on a stick. Simple. So we didn't do port number 5, configure port F05. You see, this port is the port facing the router. You see, data from, if PC1 want to communicate with PC3, the data will go to a switch, go to F05, go to the router, and the router will change to come here. So PC3 from VLAN 20 also will go to a switch, will go through F05, then the router, and the router will send back to some. So that port, you see, will carry data from VLAN 20. F05 will carry data from VLAN 20 and also will carry data from VLAN 20, from VLAN 10. That's why we call it a trunk port. A trunk port is a port that will allow many VLAN to go through it. So how to do that? We come here, enable conft. This one practice a lot. Next time we'll be meeting anyway. I'll bring a switch, I'll bring a router, and you'll do the same thing we are doing now. Exactly the same thing. If you practice, it will be easier. 20 minutes, you are done. If you don't study, you don't practice, you'll be struggling even 10 hours. So please practice. So now F05 is a specific port, interface FA05. You see, switch port mode trunk. You see, it's no longer access, it's a trunk port. It will carry, it will allow a lot of VLAN to go through it. You see, then switch port trunk allow VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. It means this port is a trunk port. It means it's going to allow data from PCs coming from VLAN 10 and from VLAN 20. You see. Do copy run start. We are done. Now let's go check if PC1 can ping the other PC3. PC1 belong to VLAN 10, PC3 belong to VLAN 20. Let's check if now we can communicate. Press enter. Let's do again. You see now we can communicate. Let's do PC4. So sometimes it's taking time to check the ARP. I know the destination IP, but I don't know the MAC address. So the time to check. Sometimes that's why sometimes you must do it many times. Let's go check if PC3, if PC4, the correct IP address 192, yeah, 20.3. Yeah, it's correct. Okay, it should be fine. 192.168.20. So why cannot ping the other guy? Did we? So if you can ping this one, you should be pinging this guy. Interface G10, description fishing. Okay. Okay. So let's go back to the router. Then we tap end, show run to view what I'm doing. Press enter. This is the configuration I made. Okay, so it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. Yeah, it should work. Let me check again. From PC ping 192.168.10.2. Let me check. So normally if PC1 can ping PC3, it means anyone from VLAN 10 can communicate with any people in this VLAN. So let me check something. If I say PC3, PC3 we can communicate. Can PC3 and PC4 communicate? Let's check. This is what we call troubleshooting. There is a lab for that. Labs. Let's say the day we meet, you're struggling, you cannot ping the other team. You need to fix. So we have a lab called, you see, troubleshooting inter-VLAN routing. When something doesn't work, how are you going to fix? So you should be able to fix it. It's not difficult. So you see here, it means maybe you didn't configure somewhere. The configuration you did was not correct somewhere. So you need to find where. That's why it's good to have a clear idea step by step. So can PC4 ping PC3? What we are doing. 20.2. So PC4 can ping PC3. But now, why cannot ping PC1? Let me check this one. Then you go back again and to check your configuration if you did everything correctly. Then the 2, this one is correct. You come here. Then the 3, it's correct. Okay. You come to PC3, you check the IP 20.2, it's fine. 20.1, default gateway, it's fine. Come here. So what's the IP of this guy? 20.2, okay. 1, okay, it's fine. Come here. 20.3, okay. So it's fine. Yeah, so normally these two PCs, PC1 and PC4 should communicate. Because if I can ping PC3 from PC1, automatically I should be able to ping the other guy. 20.2, you see here I can ping PC3. So I should be able to ping PC4. So if it doesn't work, it's fine. But at least we know that PC1 and PC3 can communicate. It means we can ping from inter-VLAN routing. The day we have physical equipment, it works more because sometimes packet tracer, there are some features not working properly. So at least we know how to configure VLANs and inter-VLAN routing. At least we know. So check this one again, 1 minute quickly. I'm going to save it and send it to you. And it's also recorded. So you can yourself follow step by step and do the same thing also. So I'll send it to you. I'm going to save it and send to you. Save. I'm going to save on my desktop. And I'm going to say router, router on a stick. Yeah. And I'll send it to you via email. So what I'm going to go through chapter 4 and chapter 3 quickly, but during your weekend, please do this lab. Mm, VLAN, yeah, I'm going to copy this one. These four in blue, please do them. Even if you don't understand, follow the steps. We guide you exactly what we did. I'm going to send you the email now. And the recording, I'm going to post it in 1 hour time. Plus for last time. So I come here. Okay, I can send it to you a bit later then. Okay, I come here. This. Now also going to Max. And I add all your names. No, it's not this one. Where did I copy your document 5? No. Um, class, no, 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 no. Not this one. Then I add that file that's on the desktop. Inter-VLAN routing. No, no, no. What is inter-VLAN routing? That date modify. Yeah, root on a stick. Yeah. Please do these lives during the weekend. You go in your NETA card, you go to chapter 3, section 312, you download, you do it. Labs to be done. It's not difficult. We show you step by step exactly the same thing I did. We're going to say, do this, do that, test that. Exactly the same thing. So anything in blue, I put even in blue here. Yeah, in blue. Yeah, so that's it. That's it. That's it. So you should be able, guys, to know the definition of a VLAN, how to configure VLAN. So from the switch, how to create VLAN, how to assign port, how to test communications. And this port facing the router is called a trunk port because it's going to carry data from different VLANs. From the router, the physical interface, you don't configure it. You just go there, no shutdown, it's fine. Then from the router, for inter-VLAN communication, we need a router. The same thing. And in fact, let me bring these guys here. I put the switch on top. Here, yeah. Then from the router, we do that sub interface. Mm. Yep, go somewhere. Yeah, I hope. Okay, we cannot see properly, but yeah, I'm going to put it here. Yeah, something. So who want to join now that we are done? Okay, this is it. I'll copy even this screen send to you via WhatsApp for you to have for you to have an idea. So if you go, if I take my CCNA2, so as you know, CCNA2, we're going to study a lot with switch. Any technologies relating to a switch, you should know. You should know VLANs, inter-VLAN routing, and other stuff. We'll study a lot with router and wireless. So let's jump to VLAN. So if you go in your data card, so you know now the definition of a VLAN. We did it last time. I'm going to post again the video. We have 5 types of VLAN. We have the default VLAN, data VLAN for internet, movies, YouTube, send a message, and then native VLAN. It's a VLAN that doesn't have a stamp. Uh, So you see here in the configuration, we say encapsulation .1Q10 for VLAN 10. There is a stamp. So it means any data come from VLAN 10 have a stamp. So if we see a data and there is no stamp, we don't know where it comes from, then it will be put in something called a native VLAN. You see. So if you don't know where you come from, we put you in the native VLAN. There is no stamp. Management VLAN, when you work from home or something. Okay, this one we'll do next time. On Tuesday, I'll do a demo and I'll go through all these 5 types of VLAN, basic configs, it's what we did. You must never delete VLAN 1. We cannot delete VLAN 1. It will default VLAN. And yeah, other stuff. So always, yeah, I did summarize nicely for you in. So inter-VLAN routing, it's exactly the same demo I explained to you. See these sub interfaces, 10 for VLAN 10, 20 for VLAN 20. It's exactly the same thing. And this is a full example, for example, of configuration. You can also check this one, page sub interface. Okay, so inter-VLAN issues. Sometimes if you have problems, they come from where? Maybe you didn't configure the VLAN properly, you didn't configure the trunk properly, you didn't assign some port properly, or the default gateway you mess up, you didn't specify .1Q10 for VLAN 10. So there are many ways, many things. So next week, Tuesday, I will, yeah, I'll go through each of them. So please, for you, do it during the weekend. Then Tuesday, I'll go through, yeah, I'll open one and I do. It will be recorded so that you can also practice. This one is extremely important, but we can do that later, not now. Any questions, guys? We are done for today. So chapter 3 and 4 is finished. So next week Tuesday, we'll do the same thing again. I'll do some demo for VLAN and inter-VLAN routing. And Thursday, we'll do STP. STP is what? If in a company you have many switches that are interconnected. Switch 1 is connected to switch 2. For example, if you have this switch, it's something simple. So this course has been designed for companies. Let's say you have 3 switches in a company, and these 3 switches are all connected together. If we don't put some rules in place, it will be chaos, and it can bring your network down. I saw it myself. I was working Pretoria, we made that mistake. It will have loops. Packet will go through all of them. The whole time you see packet will go run, the network go down, shut down. So if you have a lot of switches interconnected, we need to put some rules in place. Who must do what? We call it STP. That's all. So if you understand what I said, that even chapter 5 is finished. STP is a technology put in place so that if you have a lot of switches that are interconnected, we need to follow the rules. If you want to go study at university, you need matric or diploma data. If you don't have, you cannot go to university, you see. So we need to put some rules, who must do what for the network to run properly. That's all for chapter 5. So we'll also do that on Thursday. So that's all, guys. Step by step, we'll get there. Step by step. That's why this guy we charge a lot of, because it's a lot of work, a lot of studies, a lot of practicals. Packet tracer first. If you know packet tracer, then anything else. You don't know packet tracer, they even give you all the devices. You even don't know. You get yourself confused and nervous. And you see. Thank you so much, guys. And I'll send the recording next hour. Yeah. Enjoy your weekend and enjoy your long weekend, in fact, because Monday is public holiday, and we'll be meeting on Tuesday.